Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Next to You, A Friends to Lovers Romance, by Hannah Bonam-Young, narrated by Jen Lee. Prologue.
1 hour until I can leave. Well, maybe 1 hour and 3 minutes, so as to not appear rude. Midnight is the minimum expectation at a New Year's Eve party, after all. But the time beyond that is all mine.
Chloe's apartment throbs with the bass from a stereo that should be called Neighbor's Nightmare.
That's what I'd market it as.
I can see the design I'd make for the ad if I shut my eyes.
The music playing is unfamiliar, but the playlist I threw together this morning was hoisted off the auxiliary cord around 10.
The TV and speakers have been playing Rockin' New Year's something or other live from New York ever since. And right now, it's a DJ who's pumping up the crowd, saying we're about to have the best year ever.
Yeah, right.
I steal 2 bobby pins from Chloe and Warren's bathroom cabinet and pin my bangs out of my face. The purple hue of my hair is beginning to fade at the roots, revealing a pale brown. I canceled my hair appointment a few weeks back for the 3rd time in a row.
It always seemed too big a chore, too far from home. The only place I want to be these days. I'd hide out in the bathroom forever, but there's only one in the apartment, and I'm sure by now there's a line forming at the door.
All the other guests are probably wondering if I'm taking a massive shit.
Nope. That smell, dear friends, is the scent of fear.
My piles of self-help books would suggest I ought to evaluate. Get to the root of the issue, they'd say. But I can't be bothered. Let the fear live, I proclaim.
It's what's kept the human species alive. Survival of the fittest, baby. Perhaps I'm a little drunk. I step, and almost fall, out of the bathroom into an unexpectedly empty hallway.
Chloe and Warren's friends have impressive bladders.
Speaking of, when did they even acquire this many friends?
There has to be 20 people crammed into the apartment Chloe, our other best friend Emily, and I used to share while in university.
Life was simpler then.
When all I had to do was complete homework and assignments from the safety of my room, occasionally coming out for air and food.
It's expected of university students to be shut-ins. Hermits, recluses, homebodies. All words that are affectionately used until you reach a certain age. Or meet a certain doctor.
Then it's agoraphobia. Agoraphobia. I always thought it sounded like a fake country from a Disney movie, like Genovia.
Princess of Genovia,
I say to no one in particular, as I reach into the fridge for another vodka cooler. My 5th, if you're counting, which I am not.
Pardon?
A soft, deep voice asks as I shut the door. I turn to walk toward the loft's spiral staircase, hoping to find a private perch away from the other guests, like a nosy owl.
Guess not. The same low voice says from behind me, hitting me in the gut. I turn to find the source. Familiar dude.
Handsome. And we've definitely met before. I think he's Warren's friend or coworker. Basic name, Steve. No. John?
Nope.
Kevin? Matt? He points to his chest, wearing a quizzical expression with one raised brow. He's got a warm, welcoming smile, like he's hearing one long joke, but not at your expense. His light brown eyes have a certain kindness to them that puts me instantly at ease. His dark beard isn't particularly tidy, but it's full and fluffy looking.
His nose is ragged, like it's been carved out of rock, and his hair is longer than mine, thrown haphazardly into a bun on the top of his head.
And, goodness me, his lips. I could curl up on them with a good book. I'm Lane. I raise my bottle to him before turning to take 3 steps up. I fumble back onto the stairs, my palm finding the step just before my butt does.
The cool metal touches bare skin, a fraction below my underwear, eliciting panic that I've flashed my backside to everyone below the stairs. I reach under my bum to tuck the black fleece skirt under me and tuck it farther down my thighs, keeping my knees tightly pressed together. My black turtleneck shirt is new and itchy around my throat. I have to actively fight to stop myself from adjusting it every few seconds. This outfit is cute, but not conducive to settling nerves.
I know, Lane. We've met. He smirks into the top of his beer as he takes a sip. His lips look even better that way.
Here alone?
He asks this as if he's an adult who's found a lost child. Your mommy around, sweetie? Let's go find her. Alone, I confirm. And you, Matthew? Surely a guy with silky black hair, full lips, and a strong dad bod is here with someone.
Guys like him are everyone's type. He huffs out a quick laugh.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, well, he must be deeply flawed then. Just your type, my inner saboteur hums. Shut up, I quip back. So why is he talking to me and not someone else? Is it me, or does everyone at this party seem to know everyone else at this party?
I sigh, looking down at the large group of people strewn about the apartment below.
I'd have thought you'd know most people here, being Chloe's best friend.
Matt takes another sip of his beer. But you see, Matthew, I do not venture out much.
Ever. Introvert?
He asks, standing at the bottom step, a firm grip on the metal railing. I bite the skin around my thumb just once before I remember I'm no longer alone, and that habit isn't the slightest bit attractive. I breathe out a nervous laugh, placing both hands around my cup.
No, actually. I'm an anxious extrovert. We are a rare but not extinct breed. Matt nods, his eyes narrowing, causing happy wavy wrinkles on the outer corners. I didn't know there were others. I've been living underground.
Well, we do like to hide. I chug my drink and stand to fetch another.
You know what's great? Ice water, Matt adds, as I sidestep him and make my way toward the fridge. Have you had some today?
His voice is cautious, like he's approaching a street cat.
Can I get you some?
I nod, grinning ear to ear as I look up at the curl resting on his remarkably tanned forehead that looks like an upside-down question mark. Do you work outside, Matt?
I work with Warren.
He takes my glass and places it on the counter, turning his back to me.
I do not understand the mechanics of mechanics.
Matt looks at me over his shoulder, not laughing, but obviously amused, a small tug on his lips and inquiry in his eye.
I work inside the shop, mostly.
He uses tongs to place a few cubes of ice in my glass before pouring water from the tap. Tap water? My mother is somewhere clutching her pearls.
But you're so tan. Built-in skin tone.
He hands me a full glass of water, and I take it with two hands, trusting neither to do their job alone in my inebriated state. My mom's Samoan, he adds.
You dumbass. Why'd you ask such a stupid... Got any straws back there, barkeep?
I ask, hoping to swiftly move past my blunder. With a smile and a less than sincere eye roll, he turns and grabs a straw off the counter and drops it into my cup.
Thank you, Matthew.
I bow slightly, trying to capture the straw with my tongue as it dodges me and spins around the rim.
It's Mateus,
he chuckles under his breath, scratching where his cheek meets beard.
Huh? I turn and walk back to the stairs.
You keep calling me Matthew.
But Matt is short for Mateus, he says, following close behind.
Oh, sorry. I sit down, careful not to spill my water.
Don't be.
He gestures to the stair below mine, a question in his rich, honey-colored eyes.
Have at it.
I signal to the step with a flourish. Is Lane your full name? He asks, lowering in front of me. His body is so broad all over that he barely fits on the step, so he sort of hovers, balancing himself against the railing.
Elaine, I answer. But I've never suited Elaine. Maybe I should try it. New year, new identity. I push up an invisible set of glasses up my nose. Hello, I say in a hoity-toity accent. I'm Elaine, the third. Charmed.
I hold out a limp wrist that he shakes lightly, his lips curled between his teeth.
Matt's laugh seems to burst out of him. It's deep and full and shocking. I focus on how his throat bobs while he does it and the way his lips part.
Cute. Wow. Thanks, he replies, looking down between us with a subtle, pleased grin.
I said cute out loud, apparently.
He studies me and then looks off to the crowd, glancing side to side. Still trying to find my keeper, I think.
There's an ease to him in total juxtaposition to the liquid energy that seems to be rushing through his veins.
No part of his body appears to stay still for long, a knee bouncing or a foot tapping. But the smile that's yet to fully fade has a calming effect. I wish I could bottle it like a perfume. I could use a few spritzes throughout my day when my brain won't cooperate. I'm still staring at him, with no words being said. I don't even think I'm smiling, just blankly looking at him like art in a gallery. Yet he doesn't look uncomfortable. He just looks about the room, his gaze landing nowhere in particular. Attempting to look away from him feels like swimming against a current. I start up the conversation again, so I don't have to. Any New Year's resolutions? He turns back toward me slowly, his shoulders raising and tensing a little. His eyes shift from side to side for a moment. Then he shrugs. Not really. I'd like the shop to do well. Right. This is Warren's friend who will be running the shop with him when their burly boss guy retires. That is soon, I think. When do you and Warren take over? My Uncle Ram retires at the end of January. Then it's all ours. His jaw ticks as he throws back his beer. He blinks a few times, too. He's either nervous about this takeover, or I'm far more drunk than I thought, and misreading him entirely. You worried? I ask. Little bit. He replies with a dim smile. What about you? Constantly. I blow out a breath, trilling my lips. I meant any New Year's resolutions, he asks, voice sincere. Where to begin? This year hasn't been my best. There's a lot to improve on. He pouts his lips, but stills, waiting for me to go on. I'd like to start by being a better daughter, I offer plainly. But I'm not sure, even if I was sober right now, that I could stop the emotion tensing my expression. My mom has stopped asking me for things. I'd like her to ask again. What sorts of things? He asks. She's on a board for this charity, and they have a gala every year. I used to do the designs for it, invitations, posters, stuff like that. Now, she hires out. She doesn't want to ask me. This change only happened about 8 months ago, directly after a phone call with my sister. I mentioned in passing that I was going to the pharmacy to pick up my anxiety meds. Since then, it's been near silence from my mom. Fewer phone calls, texts, requests, and questions.
Instead, I get care packages in the mail. Bath bombs with lavender, an oil diffuser, self-help books, a weighted blanket, sleepy time tea. You get the idea. Like get-rich-quick schemes, but for fixing mental illness. Matt nods thoughtfully, slowly. It spurs me on. I'd also like to call my sister more. She isn't much of a texter, but she gives in because I hate talking on the phone. But that's not fair.
I rub the back of my neck. I miss her.
I nearly whisper. That's a good one. I'm stealing that, Matt says.
You have a sister? I ask. I have 5 sisters. He lowers his emptied bottle from his face and watches me with a knowing smile. 5? My lips part into a wide O. You have 5 sisters? And 3 brothers, he adds, grinning. I slam my drink down beside me and bring 2 hands in front of my face, raising 5 fingers on one hand and 3 on the other, then adding 1 for Matt.
9 of you? My voice is quickly approaching a pitch only audible to dogs. 9. Your poor mother, I laugh.
And so does he. Thank God. I hoped I hadn't sounded rude. That's a lot of phone calls, I add. Well, I guess I'll call my parents more then, Matt replies. What else is on your list?
I'd like to take my job more seriously. I'm not the best employee. I show up late. I call in sick when I'm not.
Technically.
I do the bare minimum.
I'm sure that's not true. That's sweet, but it is. I started over a year ago, and the person I trained last spring just got a promotion to be my supervisor.
It's a tech company, and people bounce around. There's lots of room for upward growth, if you're trying. I mime climbing a ladder and falling to my death, and Matt watches me with a subtle smile. I should be embarrassed, but I'm not. The alcohol is working. The television in the living room catches my attention as the presenter begins speaking over cheering crowds.
We are just 10 minutes shy of midnight, and what an incredible night it has been. My focus falls to the ice in my cup, and I stop listening, watching the ice cubes dance around each other until my brain goes quiet. You okay? Matt asks, leaning into my view to catch my eyes.
Yeah.
I smile weakly. He sits back and looks across the room to where Chloe and Warren stand near Emily and her boyfriend Amos. They're all laughing, except for Warren, who shakes his head and smiles into the top of his glass. They seem happy, Matt says, petting his beard absently. They do, I answer, my voice not hiding the jealousy that creates an ache in my throat.
It's not that I'm not happy for Chloe. I am. She deserves the world. All I could want for any of my friends is a guy like Warren. He worships the ground she walks on and lets her shine, unafraid of being in the shadows.
Emily deserves it too. She and Amos have only been together a few months, but they make a gorgeous couple. Stylish, tall, and equally striking. They get a lot of head turns walking down the street.
I know this because I'm usually trailing behind them, cementing my third wheel status. 3 things, Matt says, dragging my attention away from our friends. The shop, calling my parents, and finding someone who looks at me like that.
He points with the tip of his beer bottle toward the happy couples.
Single?
I ask. Perpetually. He blows out a long breath.
That's an 18-pointer, I say, before cracking an ice cube between my teeth. A bad habit, my mother would say. 18. Perpetually is worth at least 18 points on a Scrabble board, I explain. You play a lot of Scrabble, Lane. I used to. With my dad.
A trapped sigh comes out. I rarely talk about my father. And when I do, it's not with people I'm attempting to flirt with.
It's not just a difficult topic. It's one I still can hardly speak about without crying, that is. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt says,
rubbing his eyebrow as he looks down between us. I guess my face said what my words failed to. It's okay. Long time ago now. 3,042 days, to be exact. I'm still sorry,
Matt says, his eyes searching mine.
I look away quickly, suddenly shy. I'm going to get another one of these. Want something? I rattled the lone ice cube in my glass. Let me. Matt reaches for my cup and walks to the kitchen. I watch him move about from my elevated position. He turns to narrowly pass through a group that's congregated near the kitchen island and makes conversation with them as he fills our cups. I can't hear what he's saying, but I hear his laugh as he sidesteps them again on his way back. I check the time on my phone. 4 minutes till midnight, as he returns. Thanks. I take the glass of fresh water from him.
So, anything else on that list of yours?
He asks, eyes softening as they meet mine.
Or are you already seeing someone?
I scoff. No.
The girl I was recently hooking up with called it off when she procured herself a sugar daddy. Can't say I blame her. But yes, another one on the list. I'd like to be a better friend, too.
How so? Well, I should probably be helping with wedding stuff. I feel like Chloe doesn't ask me because, well...
I sigh. She knows Emily will pick up my slack.
I inhale, my chest rising high. Right, the wedding. I keep forgetting. It's coming up fast. Matt looks towards our friends briefly. I should probably do stuff too, right? What do groomsmen usually do? I shrug. I think you get off easy until the week of the wedding.
Right. Still, I'll add that to my list.
He clears his throat and checks his watch in quick succession. Then he raises his cup toward me and we cheers. To a new year, new chances, new lessons, and new friends. To calling family and not dying alone. I raise my cup, smiling.
To succeeding at jobs and taking charge,
he responds, voice louder as we cheers again.
To you, Matthias.
I lean forward and wink.
To you, Elaine.
He matches me, and a rush of excitement has my bottom lip pressed between my teeth, biting down on a giddy smirk.
As the clinking of glass sounds between us, our eyes meet and hold. You know, you're cute too,
Matt says, as his eyes briefly glance around my face.
Too bad. He leans back onto the curved railing behind him. Too bad? I ask, voice hesitant. What does that mean? Cute, but a mess? Cute, but not my type. Cute, but a basket case? He freezes, as if he said the wrong thing.
His brows are furrowed in confusion, and only then does it dawn on me that I mentioned it was a woman who recently dumped me. I'm cut off by every other party attendee when they begin counting down from 10. The room explodes into chaos all around us.
but it blurs out of focus. I'm tunnel-visioned, looking at Matt. He's so still, steady. His eyes held on me in an unreadable gaze.
9, 8, 7, they chant. I'm into everyone, I say, a little too loudly, and cringe at my urgency to tell him he's a possible candidate.
Even though no one else can hear us from up in our little nest, I look over my shoulder, blushing.
Oh,
he says, bringing my attention back.
He wipes a hand over his beard and mouth, but I can see the grin he's hiding. He drags his hand from his chin to the back of his neck and tilts forward as he rubs it like a sore muscle, all the while smiling down between us. I can't help but smile, too.
The embarrassing kind where you absolutely have to because somebody's joy is being reflected onto you.
3,
we say in unison with the crowd. My nose twitches, and he swallows, his throat working.
2.
His chest rises as he takes a deep inhale, but I can't seem to breathe at all.
1.
The hand he has splayed across his thigh twitches, and I fight the urge to lay my palm over top.
Happy New Year! The crowd shouts.
But not us.
The sounds of noise blowers and confetti poppers fill the room, and I turn over my shoulder to the sudden influx of sound. Couples descend upon each other's faces like wolves on the hunt. I look up toward the ceiling as confetti falls slowly. When I look back to Matt, he's staring up at me, eyes curiously narrowed as a stray piece of silver confetti drifts between us.
Happy New Year, Lane, he says, his smile faltering. He looks disappointed. For some reason, I hate that. I make a split-second decision and throw caution to the wind. I place my cup down on the stair beside me and put 2 palms on his cheeks, scrunching his face together like I've done to Chloe's sweet baby girl so many times. Happy New Year, I say,
pulling his face toward me, his lips squished and opening for a laugh as they land on mine. A firm palm lands on the edge of my jaw, and I lean into the touch. His hand is cool from holding his drink, and the pads of his fingertips are rough on the edge of my hairline. My hands around his face soften, and as they do, his lips follow suit.
I was totally right. Their lips you could curl up on.
A few beats pass while I'm locked into the sweetest kiss I have ever had. Time slows, as if the confetti is floating around us instead of falling. Voices falling low and drawn out. Auld Lang Syne, stretching like a vinyl spinning at half speed.
Pulling away from Matt's lips feels like an abrupt reminder that the world is not so still. The party continues, and surrounded by people and noise isn't where I want to be. Still, as we settle back against the stairs, my pulse races, and the butterflies in my stomach take off in flight like never before. I mindlessly brush my thumb over my bottom lip.
It's warm and buzzing.
When I notice him watching me, I play it off, using the same hand to brush hair behind my ear.
He clears his throat to speak, but I'm looking for a quick escape, not more conversation. I've been with lots of people, kissed lots of people, but I've never felt shy after. Like a part of me was exposed the moment our lips broke apart. And I don't like it. At all. Home, my anxiety demands.
Agreed,
I reply. I stand and raise my chin as I try to step around him without toppling. Heading out? Matt looks up at me with sad puppy dog eyes, rising slowly as I pass him. A twinge of guilt raises, but I shove it down. You'll see him around. You probably shouldn't go home with your friend's friend anyway. It's hard to ghost someone you'll see at birthday parties for years to come. Got a new life to start, Mateo.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?